So let's get it started with the mock draft. We are here with the guru of no running back himself, Mr. Michael Petropoulos. Take a bow. Let the people see
The
guru.
RB aficionado.
So, Michael, we're going with the zero running back strategy. Obviously, this means we are not going to... It's not that we're not going to roster a running back. We're just not going to take him with a top pick. We're going to concentrate on wide receivers. Because one thing that I've always noticed is with running backs, it's really role dependent. But with wide receivers, it's talent dependent. So when you're drafting players, you're drafting more the player or the wide receiver. So we're going to be looking at the players more than the really the roles at this point.
Yeah, I also find that running back is a more fluid position. You get a lot more people going in and out. Alvin Kamara, Kareem Hunt last year, two people you could have got late. You don't really see that as often with the wide receiver position. You see the studs really stay at the top of the list. And wide receivers are more volatile, so you get bigger games out of them. And running backs around 24 to 35 usually end up, like those ADPs usually end up just right together anyways, like as a bunch. So there's a lot to choose from late with running backs.
Sorry, we're going to be picking the 8th pick. And one thing that we wanted to do with the 8th pick is we didn't want to get the top 2 receivers. Or we could have a chance at Nuke. Let's see. But we didn't want to get Antonio Brown because it's really easy to just say, all right, I have Antonio Brown, fine. But if you're going to go zero wide receiver, here's how you can do it from the 8th pick. And the way we're going to do this is 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers, 1 tight end, 1 flex, a defense, and a kicker, of course.
Pretty standard.
Pretty standard. This is half-point PPR, so that's what we're going for. Michael, are you ready to draft?
I was born ready.
Let's get started! I don't know why I'm yelling. All right. So the draft has begun. Todd Gurley, Le'Veon Bell, Ezekiel Elliott, Antonio Brown, David Johnson is the top 5. I feel like there's some form of that mix-up in the top 5.
Antonio Brown is interesting for.
Over David Johnson, yeah. DeAndre Hopkins, Nuke, goes with the 6th pick, and Alvin Kamara with the 7th pick. That leaves us with a bunch of wide receivers to choose from. What we have here, Odell Beckham, Julio Jones, Michael Thomas, Keenan Allen, A.J. Green. Even if we weren't drafting no running backs, the experts on Fantasy Pros, which we are simulating the draft with, they put together all the experts around the industry, and they say which pick they think will be the best here. And Odell Beckham is the pick. But Julio Jones is here, Michael Thomas is here. Who are you going with in this spot?
Julio Jones is a bit too volatile for me. I like him more in best ball leagues where the peaks and valleys. He's a very peak and valley type of guy. The peaks, you could have him in your optimized lineup. The valleys, you could have someone like Marquise Lee jump in there, get you 10 points instead. In redraft leagues, you have to bite the bullet week to week if he has a bad week. OBJ is a just straight up monster when he's healthy. Hopefully he stays healthy, but he's going to be on my squad.
One person that I definitely am higher on than some people is Michael Thomas. And I would consider taking him here, but we're going to go to Odell Beckham Jr. here. That's what Michael says. That's what the rest of the experts say. So Odell Beckham Jr., off the board.
Odell Beckham.
That leaves Saquon Barkley with the 9th pick. If you get Saquon Barkley with the 9th pick,
nice.
Pray to whatever God you believe in. Keenan Allen, Kareem Hunt, and Julio Jones round out the first round. In the second round, Melvin Gordon, Leonard Fournette, Michael Thomas almost fell to us.
Snipe.
And then Dalvin Cook. That leaves us with a bunch of wide receiver options here. A.J. Green, Devontae Adams, Doug Baldwin, Mike Evans, Adam Thielen, and T.Y. Hilton, whose stock is rising with every Andrew Luck pass.
Yep.
Who is the wide receiver you're looking for here?
To me here, it's between Doug Baldwin and Devontae Adams. Baldwin, I feel like, has a lot of potential in the red zone again this year, similar to when he had his 14 touchdown season with no Graham or Paul Richardson. But Devontae Adams is the number 1 in Green Bay. They got Cobb there, Geronimo Allison, St. Brown, and other rookies, and Devontae Adams is in for a huge year. I'm taking Devontae Adams.
I agree. I think you have someone with a rapport with Aaron Rodgers. It's hard not to take Aaron Rodgers number 1 receiver.
Yeah, Adams will get he hasn't had a 1,000-yard season yet. He'll get there.
You say that with like a little in your voice, but I think that's something that you actually have to take into consideration that he hasn't.
There's no Jordy Nelson there anymore. There's no really other guy to steal the targets from him besides Cobb, but Cobb has always been there. Jimmy Graham, don't get me started with Jimmy Graham. How many times are people just going to fall for the Green Bay tight end trap? It never works out.
So let's see what we have here. One thing that is good about zero wide receiver is it kind of gives you an edge on two positions where you need an edge, especially in a 10-man league. You have an edge with quarterback and tight end. And we have a chance to draft a good tight end here because off the board, after us, T.Y. Hilton, A.J. Green, LaShawn McCoy, Rob Gronkowski, Devonta Freeman, Aaron Rodgers, and Jerick McKinnon. That rounds up the second round. Doug Baldwin, Joe Mixon, Mike Evans, Adam Thielen, Tyreek Hill, very high for him, Travis Kelce, and Jordan Howard got sniped right before us. I would be pissed because I'm probably looking at Jordan Howard if I have Odell Beckham Jr. and Devontae.
Quality value.
Yeah, and Devontae Adams on my team. But what the pros say, Stephon Diggs, Zach Ertz, Larry Fitzgerald are the pass-catching options. After Stephon Diggs, though, and Larry Fitzgerald, it drops down to a tier break, in my opinion. Amari Cooper, Demaryius Thomas, Alshon Jeffrey, Golden Tate, Allen Robinson. And with tight ends, after Zach Ertz, we get another tier break, in my opinion. Greg Olsen, Evan Ingram, Jimmy Graham. So who are you looking at here?
I actually really like Alshon Jeffrey this year. I think he'll fall, though, to the fourth round. So I'm cool with going the Eagle stack, Ertz and Jeffrey.
Interesting. So you would stack two Eagles pass catchers.
Yeah, that's fine with me.
It is a highly potent offense. We're going to go with you. You're the master. Personally, I probably would have gone with Stephon Diggs or Larry Fitzgerald here.
I like Thielen to Diggs in Minnesota. And I've been off Larry Fitzgerald for like 3 years. I can't jump back on now when he's like 35.
The bandwagon is... I had Larry Fitzgerald on the Broto team last year, and he killed for me every single year. But we're going to go with Zach Ertz and fill in that tier break at tight end, which is so important. Like, I cannot tell you how important that it is, to me, at least. So now what we're looking at is Stephon Diggs right after. CMC, Josh Gordon, Alex Collins round out the third round. Larry Fitzgerald is the first pick in the fourth round. Amari Cooper, Jay Ajayi, and Brandon Cooks. Jay Ajayi is someone I would have loved to have
Told you
here.
Jeffrey's going to fall.
So now we have another dilemma because are we going to jump at either quarterback or running back here, or are we going to stay with our strong wide receiver?
I like some weight
stance.
receivers, so it depends. I might go running back here.
The running backs left, Kenyon Drake is an example of the type of running back that we're going to have here. Darius Geis is another example of a player that's available at this. Rashad Penny, Lamar Miller, Derrick Henry, Dion Lewis, Mark Ingram, Royce Freeman, a bunch of guys that are still available here in the running backs. For wide receivers, Demaryius Thomas. This is the overall. That's not wide receivers. I'm going to say Kenyon Drake right there. For wide receivers, Demaryius Thomas, Alshon Jeffrey, Golden Tate, Allen Robinson, Juju Smith-Schuster.
These are some solid receivers.
And Russell Wilson's still there with the
No, I don't like Russell Wilson.
QB pick. So you're really picking between running backs like Kenyon Drake and Darius Geis, which, yes, they could have big years, Rashad Penny, but they're not sure things. And then you're looking at DT, Alshon Jeffrey, Golden Tate, Allen Robinson, Juju Smith-Schuster, who I know you love this year.
Yeah, I do.
I would be all right with Juju here. I really would be.
We also have DT there.
DT's also available.
And Jeffrey. I'm stuck between Jeffrey and DT here. I have them pretty similarly ranked. But I have Jeffrey with the edge currently, so I'll go Jeffrey.
Why Jeffrey over Juju? I think, I would love to have Juju here.
Jeffrey's the number one on his team. He slowly built rapport with Wentz last year. He's coming off a full healthy season for the first time in a while. I like his prospects coming into the season.
4 pass catchers in the first 4 rounds as we add Alshon Jeffrey to our list of players. Going after him was DT, Geis, Golden Tate, Kenyon Drake, Juju with the 10th pick in the 4th round, Michael Crabtree with the 11th pick in the 4th round. Interesting.
I'm a big fan of Kenyon Drake this year.
Allen Robinson with the 12th pick. Round 5 shakes out Deshaun Watson, Chris Hogan, Jimmy Graham, Tom Brady, Evan Ingram, Russell Wilson, and Pierre Garçon. So anything that we could have gotten in terms of a value at quarterback with Tom Brady and Russell Wilson coming off the board.
I don't want Russell Wilson, bro.
It kind of doesn't look like that anymore.
Now I'll go running back. Who are the running backs?
So let's take a look at the running backs now. We have Rashad Penny, Lamar Miller. For receivers, we got Jarvis Landry, Marvin Jones. Cam Newton is the best quarterback on the board. Greg Olsen is also a tight end that they're saying we should draft, but we already have a tight end, so that's not going to happen. For Deion Lewis is available. Mark Ingram's available. Royce Freeman is available. Rashad Penny's available. I said Lamar Miller already. There's a plethora of people that are available here.
Yeah. It's between Lamar Miller or Mark Ingram for me. I'm not a Lamar Miller guy, but he's going to be the number one guy with Deshaun Watson there. I am a Mark Ingram guy, but he's going to be suspended 4 games, and I don't have the running back depth currently to suit my needs there.
What about Deion Lewis here? Would this be a super stretch to get him here?
Deion Lewis is a bit of a stretch. It's not the worst pick. I think I'm going to go Lamar Miller.
Lamar Miller in the 5th round. So we're going with our first running back, and our first running back, not for nothing, is a running back that will have volume for the foreseeable future as long as Devonta Foreman isn't hurt.
Dante Foreman,
excuse me.
You always call him Devontae Foreman.
I don't know why.
Devontae Freeman, probably.
It's just stuck in my head, I think. It's the way he spells his name, too.
I mean, it's not like you've ever been good with names.
That's true. Jarvis Landry, Carson Wentz, Marvin Jones, Delaney Walker, Sony Michel, Derrick Henry, Corey Davis, and Devin Funchess.
Jarvis
all
Landry
go.
there is really bad.
Now we're looking at some running backs there. We can have a nice little running back tandem even after picking all this.
#0RB, bro.
A lot of people are super on the Rashad Penny bandwagon. I'm not sure if that's the case because I think the Seattle...
In the 6th round, it's definitely tempting.
The Seattle running game might have a lot of negative game script, though.
Yeah. Who
So,
else is there?
Deion Lewis is
Mark
there.
Ingram still there?
Mark Ingram's still here.
Give me Mark Ingram. You
don't
can't
even think
pass up
about
on
it.
Mark Ingram in the 6th round.
And you don't even think about
Folks, draft Mark Ingram if he's there in the 6th round.
it. It's that certain. You don't care about his suspension, nothing.
He's been a stud for like 3 years now. He's in a contract year. The Saints aren't going to run Kamara into the ground. He'll step back into his role after 4 games.
So
Ready to roll.
Mark Ingram into that second running back slot, which we're going to have to fill because let's not forget the first 4 weeks count too, people.
Yep.
Kyle Rudolph goes next. Ronald Jones goes with the 7th round, the 6th pick. Greg Olsen.
Told you, it's a league loser, Ronald Jones.
Yeah, especially if he goes with the 6th round. Rashad Penny, Sammy Watkins, Jamison Crowder, and Robbie Anderson. Robbie Anderson's